Radio sHAZZBOT.
Issue 02, May 2024.
TRACEY INK.
Episode 0203.
I've got a pagoda. She loves me. Attack of this She Loves Me Not.
Or
I'm stuck in a splitting Hadachi with Atricia Toyota. A 6-scene cartoon improv radio script by
J. Drista Poindexter.
Episode titles from The Dickies, Dawn of the Dickies, 1979.
Scene 1.
Old Silent Movie Theater bit. Marlene Dietrich Film Festival. Designated driver bit. Bert Wolfgang Fluke uses hot chocolate mixed with hydrochlorochrome as an engine coolant. An ancient family recipe. The Wi-Fi reception is almost non-existent in the future Atlantis due to the tremendous pressure of the ocean's depths.
Panel 1.
Caption.
Meanwhile, on a different network, in the offices of the Daily Weekly, an underground newspaper, downtown Atlantis, U.S. settlement, the South Atlantic, June 2091.
Hannah O'Toole.
Making a beeline for something. Have you ever really listened to that Rachmaninoff's Dude's Green Hornet theme song? The Flight of the Bumblebee. They just sort of flutter about aimlessly, don't they? Bees don't fly in a beeline at all.
Deuce Kawasaki.
And MFA. Oh, we're getting into the blocks with the big letters on them now, aren't we?
Hannah O'Toole.
Deuce, sweetheart, if you're gonna still be angry at me about yesterday, I'm gonna think that you're only being mad at yourself. If it's about putting that dent in your iPod golf cart, it wasn't my fault, really. And if you're mad because you're running up on deadline for your next news story, and I had you do that favor for me, well, you know, if you love what you do, then you'll never work a day in your life. I think Ronald McDonald said that. It was on an old cancelled Choice Rose episode. But then if you never work a day in your life, you might grow to love that, too.
Panel 2.
TRACEY INK.
Oh, hi Hannah, hi Juice. Are you two still fighting again? Or is it that you are still fighting still? You guys should sell those one-liners like that for 10 cents each. Party tapes don't go double platinum anymore without a big plat push first. Though, even if we do just use the ingestible music distribution these days here in the futures markets.
Deuce Kawasaki.
And here we go with the insinuations again. Hannah, doll parts. I like this underground newspaper office, darling. And I like who I see in the mirror when I'm shaving off the 10-day beard too, baby. If I start in with that Marquis de Sade's restaurant at 6, Rasputin's Cafe for afters at 8, and then I meet up with the boys over at Casanova's Delicatessen about 10:30 to sit in on the Penny Whistle open mic jam night every work night. Then the Republic is doomed. I'll leave that head stuck in the sin trap stuff to other people a bit more quantifiable and certifiable than I am. Babe.
Panel 3.
Hannah.
Well, you do have to live like a refugee to make a living in the newspaper farm factory business these days. I know that, US, sugar baby, scribe. Take it down. I'm happy to tell people that my housemate and my life mate never got that memo otherwise, and that I'd rather see him working on his little newspaper than working with me on my own little life, or on anything else.
TRACEY.
So, I don't get it. Are you two still fighting now? Or is this the cute part yet again? Juice, you're still not mad at Hannah for crashing your iPod golf cart yesterday, aren't you? That was at least partially my no fault. No.
Panel 4. Panel 5.
Panel 6.
Scene 2.
Last year, Deuce picked all the winners of the Golden Spheres Awards contest in the office pool. This year, Bert Wolfgang Fluke has inside information. DB Cooper bit.
Panel 1.
Caption.
And soon, overheard on the office TV monitor.
Blob Evans University. Cue that 2 Corinthians quote. Let the buyer beware. When you're under this roof, you'll regurgitate it the way we tell you to. Promise Grabbers meeting later tonight in the quad. Mac Toggrell's Grump's Greatest Hits package tour stop tonight only. Spend all your time unpacking this next one. Pendants. See also the obscene writings on the wall at the psychology department restrooms. And why doesn't Mac Toggrell's Grumps go to speak at his own universities instead? He used to collect actual PP samples, and he used to send actual personalized steaks in the mails back in the funny old days. And what is it with these people anyway?
Deuce Kawasaki.
Hey there, Blurp Wolfgar Plook, the fashion food critic here at the Daily Weekly Underground Independent newspaper. You say that your 20-year-old son and the bass player for my girlfriend Hannah's band, the Jealous Oi Friends, is having trouble adjusting to his new 12-year community college commitment program. Is it the too many basic classes to make up for what he should have been taught in that middle school bit again? Just tell him that Lauren Breitbart got her GED at 34 and that she's a U.S. Congress professional. You know, the old hope is on the horizon hospital routine.
Panel 2.
Wolfgang Fluke.
Well, Deuce Kawasaki, you're the managing editor here at the Daily Weekly Underground, so you know how the kids are today here in Atlantis in 2091. This paper just barely manages to keep its head above water. I just don't get to spend as much time with the kid as he might want me to. As a food critic, I'm always off putting out one fire or another, but I'd have to say that every happy 20-year-old is happy in the same way. but that every sad 20-year-old is sad in a different way. I'm gonna guess it has something to do with the economic opportunities open to a kid at that age. Really?
Deuce?
Well, did you see Randy Scousjet Player 1? I mean, never mind that they had to build the double wide trailer homes upwards in that movie because the characters had no other way to go but up. But consider this, the 20-year-old heroes in the movie hadn't even seen that movie yet, either. Well, until the midway point anyway. And they were just making it up as they went along too, just like in real life. Your kid just might need to sit through that movie again to find his own answers, you know.
Panel 3.
Blurk Wolfgang Pluk.
So, you think that my kid is still scoring well above average for never even having played that video game movie before? Can't you tell him that? I can't tell him that myself. There's still the restraining order and everything.
Deuce Kawasaki.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I think I can keep it in the kind of magazine publicist terms that he'll understand. I'm kind of magazine smart like your kid is, but I do have a pop scientific neutrality left over from watching the Infotainment Tonight pop psychology segments. Instead of the Odd Warp Scavengers and Crash Babazoo clearance from when I was a kid. That'll be $80 an hour, please. Sheesh, Wolfgang Pluk. Put me on the spot. Hit me up. You know. Give your kid some encouragement and take him under my wing. Move me. What am I gonna say? No.
Panel 4.
Overheard on the office TV monitor.
And sponsored by
Hey guys and dolls, this game of the scene is brought to you by the new Clock Blockers Ad Hoc Cosplay Body Spray. Is your first boyfriend just getting a little too forward? Clock Blockers are now available in Vacuum Cleaner Bag Mont Blossom Interrupters, and in Found Out Scratch and Sniff Primo Mag Stash Cinnamon Buns Implosion, and in our new line of over-scented Scantron Exam Sheet mood-altering flavorings. When his mood strikes, strike back with Clock Blockers. It's the not just because of his cosplay body spray. Think no after-school broom closet is safe. Think again. Think Clock Blockers Ad Hoc Cosplay Body Spray. Ladies, a little behind the times. It's Clock Blockers. And it's now available for boys.
Panel 5.
TRACEY INK.
Hi Wolfgang Pluk. Hi Juice Kawasaki. Did you guys hear if they announced the Golden Spheres Music Awards nominations yet? I guess we'll have to cover that story in the Daily Weekly Underground again this year, but I'm not about to start writing about the Sun City Senior Citizens Community Centre. You know, this magazine is partied enough from the mainstream music listeners as it is. And I know you won't go changing into St. Bob or St. Bono or Little St. Stephen's on me for this awards ceremony. However, I'm going to need a date next Tuesday, and tag, one of you is going to have to be it.
Deuce Kawasaki.
Well, I was just talking to Bert Wolfgang Pluk here about his son losing interest in the community college industrial complex. So I guess that this award ceremony is just something else that I'll have to pretend to be interested in, too.
Bert Wolfgang Pluk.
You know, nobody ever gave Primus enough credit, really. They never got a dinner, so to speak. Do you remember those dudes? That great local band didn't so much release great songs as conduct them. They were electricity. I mean, I still listen to the Murphs, and the Amanda Palm Trees, and the Yip Yip Yips, and I mean I still like the Ralph Hold Steadmans, and Titusville and Ronicus, and the Ted Litso and the Episcopalians. And if I'm feeling nostalgic, I even listen to the Jack Black and Frank White stuff. But they just don't give the newer rock stuff much attention, do they? I mean, people are still putting its new rock music out there to confound and spite the older listeners, aren't they?
Panel 6.
TRACEY INK.
HMMM, do you know what's a good incentive for me? I don't usually drink this much Diet Dr. Peppers, but I think this is the beginning of a beautiful new struggle with mental illness. You know, Dr. Peppers wasn't a real doctor. He was only a real doctor of education.
Deuce Kawasaki.
TRACEY INK. You have Matt DiCaprio taste and a Pee Wee Goldfoot face. But I think Mr. Pluk here only dates 25 to 35-year-olds, so it's basically a two-way dead-end cul-de-sac three-legged sack race tie for second best. He lifts his dog leg left, and then caddy corners both ways to the right. I will accompany you to the Golden Spheres Award ceremony after party on Saturday night. TRACEY INK. I'll talk it over with my girl Hannah first. Besides, when you're 45 years old, Wolfgang Pluk will still only be about 18. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10 anyways. You know, age isn't a state of mind. It's really only a quality of the imagination. I think P.D. Barnum once said that.
Scene 3.
Tracy and Deuce continue to discuss the awards show.
Panel 1.
Deuce Kawasaki.
So, I talked to my G-friend Hannah about our little play date, and she said Marquis D. Sade's restaurant at 6, Rasputin's Cafe for afters at 8, and then I'll meet her over at Casanova's Delicatessen about 10:30 to sit in on that penny whistle for open mic jam night business, even on a work night. A man's gotta do, you know, but maybe we can work around this. Do you know of any like-minded citizen after parties after the award ceremony? Hannah and her band, the Jealous Oi Friends, would really like to set up and play outside in one of the open-air lobbies. You know, of course, that there are no good goofy pink rock bands who can bust out with a goofy jazz standard set every now and again. The kids just want to take part in the chaos and the festivities.
Burt Wolfgang look.
Well, I think I heard that the significant misters are disappearing at the Cloakroom. And there's that upcoming police sit-in strike concert on Saturday at the Rage and Raid Pig Barn with the usual Plums opening. So they'll probably be rehearsing over at the Cloak and Chicks. And maybe I can still get you tickets for the unsubstantiated Tumors tour at the to-be-named later stadium, with that new all-juvenile delinquent boy and the who, what, when, how, why and where house. I mean, how the F would I know that stuffed US sings It's an Indifferent World.
Panel 2.
Deuce?
Oh, I wasn't talking to you, Burt Wolfgang. Look, I was just asking TRACEY INK if she knows of anywhere that my young girlfriend and her band could set up and play outside in a courtyard or something. Phew, that must be what Viagra Rage Issues really looks like. Next time, I'm going with that as my Big Farm Claims next victim. Corporate-sponsored Lead Story.
Burt Wolfgang look.
Oh, that's all right then. You really had me for a minute there though. And what about the Jealous Oi Friends' new live debut tape Hiss in the Tap Rum Gloopy disc? That's now available on Vintage Microfiche. It's still the band's best recording. See, I do try to stay current. Yeah, but that's what I'm asking you. Who goes on first?
TRACEY?
Leave us now, Blurp Wolfgang look. But why don't I go down to where you walk sometimes and discuss the finer points of my job there instead? Boy, I'm really going to miss your surreal banter stuff when that new Clock Blockers cosplay and Hut Body Spray goes on sale at the local Bright Aid. I hear they have marital aid toys down there now, too. Handsome. But be gone with you.
Panel 3.
Deuce?
My girl Hannah uses words like while possible and while you're full and expressions like while you're sometimes. So I looked it up on Wikipedia to find the origin of the word well, you know, to impress girls. It turns out that it was in the Scottish translation of Virgil's The Aeneid and the Odyssey in the 1660s. Wow, amazing, right? Do you think the Usual Plums is a real band name? I mean, that's really good, right? I don't know about you sometimes, but I'd have to look that one up in the National Joke Band Name Registry.
TRACEY INK.
Well, don't lose too much sleep thinking that you don't read too much into things. Juice Kawasaki. At least just this one time. Anyway, I would have to talk to one of the promoters first, but I think the Bio folks is making an in-store appearance for their More Germs Than Germany album. And it's also a next-door neighbor stop for the We Like Honest Fearlessness. But we love fearless honesty rolling blunder music review with the Ego Solo Sextet. I just couldn't bring myself to see them the last time they toured. It was at an outdoor venue, and the crowd was just too intense.
Panel 4.
Deuce Kawasaki.
Now you sound like you should go to the Golden Spheres after party with Wolfgang Puck instead. But, oh, isn't that same night also the same day as the official DDS propaganda release party for the band 11th Day Cat Box with their I can tell it's complicated just by looking at this record sleeve long player.
TRACEY INK.
You know I was on board a few years ago for the band's It's the De Facto Proxy War double-sided flexi disc with its B-side. That's a powwow I'm just not willing to have with you right now. Captain John Smith's single release on the European Pastels block and Rococo Donuts Sut Party label. And I also liked their split single 7-inch on blue vinyl with the circular hole on the record sleeve Troll Bureau remix for the Banza. Maybe I can just get grandfathered in at some later date Adobe Viewmaster PowerPoint slideshow installation piece. A limited edition for that label's own Just Hoard polyurethane in-house band recording label. If the imprint is still even in print, yeah, you would have had to have lived for this stuff at some point in this one given situation.
US Kawasaki.
Wellerific.
Panel 5.
Meanwhile, across the Atlantis 2091 Superdome town, at a band rehearsal for the Jealous Oi Friends.
Hannah O'Toole.
So, when do we set up for the sidewalk gig outside this awards ceremony? I'm so psyched up for this show that I might require emergency medical attention. But just between you bandmates and me, as your drummer, I'm more like the former emperor. I'm wow-erific at attracting attention to myself, but then I don't have any idea what to do with it once I do attract that attention. Do you know what I'm even saying? Billy the bass player.
Billy the bass player.
I think we go on at 4 and then just play through everything 6 times, or until they shut us down, Hannah. And as for the time, it's 75% until 2 p.m. I mean, it's 1:45, but it's 75% of an hour since the last time you asked me. Why not put an oven timer on your drum kit to help you keep time the next time? But here, have some pop rocks to clear your mind. And on a more spirographical note, can't you see reality for what it really is? It's all just a reflection of a larger TV reality. I don't know, but I think somebody put something in these pop rocks. Well, it sure beats working out with weights with small children.
Panel 6.
Bob, from the Jealous Oi Friends.
You two are way too brain in a glass bobber shop jar in an unidentifiable blue liquid, blasted cerebral sometimes. You know that. Here, set aside your bulimia banquet nervousness and learn this new song with me. It's called Lunatic Fridge. Attack of the Killer Tamales Part 6. When you play through the second verse, this time Billy the bass player, the harmony vocal is first they feed you to death, then they burp you to death, and then they just confuse you to death. Have you got all that yet?
Billy the bass player.
Your new stuff is sounding hungrier and hungrier each time through. Bob, your new songs should go viral though. Like streptococcal W, it should spread everywhere. Like maybe like hepatitis C in the northern Euro-Asian continent. Or maybe like a KFC epidemic in the North Australian Hungary. Or the South Icelandic Turkey incontinence.
Bob, from the Jealous Eye Friends.
You sound hungry for this gig, too. Billy the bass player. Okay fellas, J. Coltrane ice cream changes through the bridge part after the second chorus. Does anybody knows the crime or aren't misbehaving? Just think 70s Mac B. Davis, or the other reports, or early J. Mac Claflin stuff. Okay. Somebody count 1, 2, 3, 4 go. Just like that.
Hannah O'Toole.
Better dial it back on those smugs there, Billy, and a young Ken Berners makes the team.
Scene 4.
The Jealous Oi friends are at their new rehearsal studio and discover a secret passageway to a new stage of mankind's reality. TRACEY INK writes a letter to feminist icon Lola Lola to encourage her to deliver a speech at the local campus fundraising benefit.
Panel 1.
Meanwhile, back at the features office of the daily nightly underground newspaper, Atlantis 2091.
Blurp Wolf Gangpluck.
What you're watching on the iPod there, TRACEY INK, WRKP Special Victims Unit, Cops and Orders. No ethnic perps need apply. Rossetti and Isles. Women inside bars. Or maybe you're checking in with former SFL favorite Rob Snyder's Blight Gallery comedy tour concert species. I understand that Rob Snidely has turned into a real MAGA obscene tantric comedian superstar nowadays. That the folks on the egregious right have started to accept him as their comedy assassin messiah figure. That he's the new old face of the old new humor of the extremely right wing in the Atlantis Snakes of America now. But noted TV critics are saying that he's more of a fan than a performer, and more of a windbag than either of those two choices, and that he's more like a pitbull cheerleader for the poor sports of anti-democracy. Really, eh? But how much do these East and West Coast critics know? You know, it's not like they went to a school for that, either.
TRACEY INK.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something, Burp Wolfgerd Plug? I'm sort of busy. I really need to type up this Gmail invitation letter to feminist icon Lola Lola to see if she'll give a commencement speech at the after party for the awards distribution observation on Satire Day night. Let's get this after party started. You know, and her podcast is basically the after party afterwards anyway. But feminist icon Lola Lola's new Black and White Please Keep Silent movie series Dietrich and von Sternberg has been issued something of a citation, in spite of it being inspired by a real-life incident, and all that.
Panel 2.
Caption.
Cut to movie clip of Dietrich and von Sternberg movie clip.
Dietrich.
Me, enter into a polyamorous relationship with you. Mr. von Sternberg. What does that even mean? Like it's even mutually reciprocated and everything. What's that even like, anyway?
Von Sternberg.
It's like, we're not just obsessed with lipstick Lotharios or champagne communists anymore, or just obsessed with the high browsers at the CD store anymore. We're in love with everyone now, like a rave party glow stick come to life. Everywhere anymore, all of the time. Don't you see, babe? This is our ticket to the big times.
Dietrich.
Wait, I think I know how this one ends, Mr. von Sternberg. I just wish I hadn't taken so much ESP this morning.
Von Sternberg.
Can you dig it? Dolly face. All art is pornography. All writing is propaganda. And your vocabulary is just a prison of your own design. Now, I want to be your default go-to boyfriend for life. Baby girl. Hold on, I'm getting another call.
Panel 3.
Blurp Wolfgard Plug.
Speaking as a 39-year-old hipster, TRACEY INK, I have to tell you, that Lola Lola person is just a flapper. I mean, she's an it girl and all that. But strictly speaking, as a fashion food critic, her pinstripes just do not match her pointed shoes or even her prison strips. It's like with a name like Killer Mike. It seems to me trouble is just going to come looking for you instead. You see what I'm saying, TRACEY? I just wish she hadn't taken so much ESP this morning. Either.
TRACEY INK.
Or you can't make omelets without breaking a few plates. Blurp Wolf Gert Pluk. And anyway, you know these after parties go, of course, don't you? It really ain't a newspaper office after party until somebody gets booked. Plus, you just have to show up and you'll be there. Wolf Gert Pluk. I hear your favorite cyber grunge, Swamp Gator, electronic hee-haw rock and roll band The Jealousoy Friends is playing out front in the lobby for a few numbers. Now, Juice's girlfriend Hannah O'Toole is the drummer for that band. And I know how much you have a secret crush on her.
Burp Wolf Gert Pluk.
Heck, I'd earn only about 5,000 clam bakes a year for this job if I had to. TRACEY INK, you know, my rent has already been paid for. Working this job just keeps me off the rooftops down here in southwest central Atlantis. Kiddo, it's a labor of love, to speak my truth.
Panel 4.
Caption.
And at that same time, back at the Jealous Oi Friends practice space.
Hannah O'Toole.
If conversation is an art, then you're basically a Pete Mundrake, Billy the bass player. You're totally Cubistville, dude. You're strictly an L77 about a few things. You know that, buddy. Oh, I'm afraid to explore the secret passageway that we just found when it opened up in the back of the rehearsal studio. Oh, I'm Billy the bass player, and I'm afraid of getting into trouble with the Electronic Land ladies.
Bob of the Jealousoy Friends.
Calm down for just a minute there, Hannah O'Toole. Really? This is not a drummer who is ever going to have trouble getting in touch with her unreleased Viagra age issues. Now, come on you two dudes. Let's not let our excitement get the best of us. Dr. Pepper wasn't a real doctor. Billy the bass player. His degree was only in education.
Billy the bass player.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble tape, fellow heads, but a secret passageway in the back of a rehearsal space probably just leads to a secret staircase or something, and I think that some things should just stay secret.
Panel 5.
Hannah O'Toole.
I used to fantasize about moving to Atlantis when I was a kid, you two wallet munchers. I used to dream that I'd get a job as a phone sex worker, you know, just for a while, and just to pay the bills, just getting my hose in the door in the voice characterization world, really. But I was always sure it would be like, you want me to do what? You want me to meet some of my customers in person? Well then, Roy. And his name was always Roy in my fantasies. I'll just have to go over to Neutral Corners full-service car wash, or to Sunset Horizons All Points Bulletin Board Health Spas instead. And Sheila, I used to fantasize that my co-worker in the next door cubicle was named Sheila as well. Of course, you know Roy will always eventually cave in and see things my way instead. Anyway, you know, dudes, I'd keep that phone worker voice characterization job for a few years, rather than just have everyone hate me for being the most popular office girl at the World Health Organization. I always used to dream big anyway. I guess my fantasies have come a long way since then, but they were always sort of elaborate to begin with.
Panel 6.
Billy the bass player.
That's it. I'm going to explore the secret passageway in the back of the practice space instead. Anything is better than another one of your stories, Hannah.
Hannah O'Toole.
Huh? I knew that would work. It works every time. But you know, a lot of innocent-sounding magazine titles have been started by some of the world's most notorious serial stalkers.
Hannah sings.
Baby, if I'm ever wanted, and the feds can't tell you whatever became of me, I'm living off the grid in Cincinnati. Special Victims Unit WKRP.
Bob of the Jealousoy Friends.
Hey, that's funny. Can I use that? Is that one in the sarcastic remarks public domain registry? You know, maybe next to Gaucho remarks. In the grumpy Latin American dictator's comment section.
Scene 5.
Billy the bass player is invited to an after-party for the awards show contest if he will engage in secret ballot stuffing and file a report on the illegal conduct of the other side's election officials. Deuce talks to the robot maintenance man about the October surprise concert season. New trend, boy bands with guitars.
Panel 1.
And a few minutes later, in a tunnel passageway leading from the Jealous Oi Friends practice space and down a long hallway, and towards a certain visit with the unknown.
Bob of the Jealousoy Friends.
Is that some light, some kind of a lamppost up ahead in the darkness there? This is like Viagra salt salsa in that Willy Workandaland movie. Is this just you joking? This must be what having Viagra salt rage issues feels like. And anyway, the only light coming up ahead is out of that mysterious window. From the back of it, I think we should just turn around and go back the way we came in here, kids. These are obviously just some abandoned catacombs that simply came with this city block.
Billy the bass player.
Yeah, but shouldn't we just be practicing? I don't need any city blocks to fall on my head. You know, it's said that Beethoven broke everything he ever touched, and that he broke in every piano player that he ever touched, too. I'll get you two to make sense out of all this, too, someday.
Piano duel.
Or, go on, Billy the bass player. This is just some fun, you dudes. Let's keep on going to the window at least. You never know what you might find in a desolate hallway like this one. We could end up some very rich amateur sleuth explorers someday. You too.
Panel 2.
And soon.
Bob of the Jellisoy Friends.
Well, we still haven't found anything yet. And it's been almost a half an hour. 2. What are you expecting to find, Hannah? Some sort of rumpled steel skin pots of gold? Or something other P-Funk, pawn shop buried treasure like that? I say we turn back before we hit some kind of event horizon. And don't have enough fuel to turn around and get back. Besides, that Roots Cola is starting to back up on me already.
Billy the bass player.
Hey, we should cover the Roots Cola TV theme song. Kind of smooth and not too shabby, with the kind of taste that will reach up and grab ye by your teeth. Have some roots, take roots with Roots Cola, and then Hannah could do the announcer's voice. What's the shizzle fizzle, my grizzle minizzles, and such like that, my hizzle twinizzles. Drink wholesome family rashed Roots Cola. It's the roots that'll make your dog daddy-o daddizzle, and your little sister sing the sauce sizzle.
Piano duel.
I think the cabin vapors are starting to get to you two again. I think maybe Homebase here is especially lost in his tonics. I also think that taking that last window was a mistake. I like my witch projects Blair or not at all, fellas. And that's how I like to resign myself to the fates of life, too. I think maybe House Fries here has especially lost his map.
Panel 3.
Bob of the Jellisoy Friends.
But, look up ahead. There's some kind of bridge up there where that lamppost is shining in from. I think we'd better just keep walking towards it and try to draw up some kind of a map before we do run into some kind of Jersey Devil. Or else this might turn into a Blair Witch type project too, or something. I think we should try to find a side exit or another secret passageway to use as an exit. And I think maybe someone should write up a franchise book of shadows, too.
Billy the bass player.
Wait, what? Do you hear that guitar sound? It must be coming from one of the other rehearsal rooms. Do you hear that? I knew that if we waited long enough, Shecky from the Neatness Freaks would eventually write a one-hit wonder. And now it sounds like he's written an entire album of the Little Buggers.
Panel 4.
Piano duel.
He's right. That's them running through a song called Hoop Scoots, Cooties and Beer. Oh my. From their recent Toctic hair metal band Satire collection. I was extremely right, but now I'm just politically correct. This is the excitement, dudes.
Bob from the Jellisoy Friends.
Billy the bass player. I don't think Her Satanic Majesty's Youth Minister would request that you listen to this post-punk flower power pop racket. Of course, on this band's best day ever, they'll never be as jaded as the average 14-year-old girl. But these dudes just get more and more better with every new release. Now all we have to do is open this door here. No, that wasn't it. Is our band forever doomed to float around outside it all in a cynical obscurity loop forever?
The Old Man in the Catacombs.
Hello, you three bandwidths looking kids there. My name is the Old Man in the Catacombs, and here, I wrote this sign on the wall. Yeah, here, read to me what my sign on the wall says. It was written by the Old Man in the Catacombs, and that's me. You know, I used to be very much like your three bandwidths. You remind me of my old band, the Jealous Buzz Friends. Yep, I remember those jokers. They opened for the Doppler Effect at a sub-stop here in Atlantis. It was during the band's Screen Doors on a Submarine Sandwich tour, once long ago. Read it back to me. Read my sign back to me. I can't read the inscription. Pass me your flashlight. It says. It may have all been said before, but it hasn't all been said by your band before. And then underneath that it says, hey, it's your guitar, man. You play what you want with it. Well, I think they should tell you these things a bit earlier next time, you know, a little before you actually need it, when you can actually use it. Well, I have to disappear now, and just as mysteriously as I appeared to you in the first place, you bandwidths, it's all part of a divine writ. It may have all been said before, but it hasn't been said by your band before. And hey, it's your guitar. You play what you want with it. Fare thee well, my little bandwidths.
Billy the bass player.
Well, I mean, I believe distortion and all that, you know, but Glosh.
Panel 5.
Bob of the Jellisoy Friends.
Now what the actual plausible fact was that all about? You guys, I think we just saw a ghost. I like my witch projects, Blair only, dudes. I think that astral spectral spirit projectionist must have summoned us here, so that we could read his sign and hear his message. He treated us like a straw man in that right here right now situation.
Billy the bass player.
A little voice once told me that I should stay in school, so I did for all these months and months. But that little voice didn't tell me to not get freaked out by something like this.
Hannah O'Toole.
Oh, it's definitely a sign to be remembered, but nowadays they have the new paranormal activities. It's kind of like with string theory calculus or quantum mechanics trigonometry. With the new math, it dates back to the Greeks and the Pharaohs. There's got to be a logistical explanation for all this. The Hercules triangle, or the Venti-Vini-Vishnu diagrams, or the Autopots mechanics. Maybe he was just, a visitor from a different but a parallel cinematic universe.
Panel 6.
Bob, from the Jealous Eye Friends.
A. That advanced outer space travel advisory stuff is mostly just good for separating those people who do know the Benny Hill universe and have a favorite episode from those people who don't. Scribe, take that down and send out for more ketchup and extra napkins. I think we need to get out of here now, my fellow bandwidths. Still, some of these old analog studios still hold up amazingly well in the marches of time. Just listen to that reverb. It's like the Proverb Nation in here. Best band practice with this band ever. So far anyways. It's all been said before, but it hasn't been said by your band before. Those are words to live a life by, fellas.
Hannah O'Toole.
Yeah, we'd better get back to the reel-to-reel world. Besides, it's Music Producers Night on Asperger's City Limits on the VHS Classics channel. Bob Weird Mountain, Rich Thomas B. Word, Glum Glum John Johns, and Jammy Iodines will all be in special segments talking about the advantages of setting up a usable home recording studio, and it's hostaged by special medical arrangements with an off-world's Phil Spector's. He'll be world premiering a new remix of the Shag's Psychology of the World Part 2. It'll be good ye old-fashioned name pun family viewing. And hey, that's just a sample of my name music producer name-checking prowess.
Bob of the Jealous Eye Friends.
Do you take medicines for that, Hannah? If I were you, I'd fire my dentist. Hey, it's your guitar. You play what you want with it. Take this, brother. May it serve you well.
Scene 6.
Announcer 1.
Readers, keep watching these pages for our next thrill-packed, excitement-jammed, baby stroller ride of an episode.
Announcer 2.
See whether Billy the bass player's dad will warn him against the illegal practices of the award ceremony election officials stuffing the ballot boxes. Here, whether or not Juice Kawasaki will agree to give TRACEY INK driving lessons for 2 months after she loses her off-the-sport bets on the Golden Spheres Awards show, because she did to wreck his iPod golf cart. After all,
Announcer 1.
And discover to obtain further evidence to support the conclusion one way or another that if we're not Hannah O'Toole and will ever reveal how much inside info she does or doesn't know about the mysterious riddle of the old man inside the catacombs. And just to throw off the skeptics.
Announcer 2.
Find out if Blurp Wolfgang Pluck will just stop mixing hot chocolate with backdated hydrochlorochrome, all in our next revealing issue concerning TRACEY INK and her further adventures on the lost continent of Atlantis, circa 2091.
Announcer 1.
Truth believers, don't dare miss our next pulse perplexing, expectation shattering, sense separating. Well, at least you can't step into the same trouble twice. Truth believers, catch our September 2024 issue, on sale for free soon, wherever Hunger Squid games are played, and whenever Hand Grenade Maiden's Tales warnings are told.
Announcer 2.
And hey, old-time ham radio fans, don't forget to remember to donate your used newspapers and discarded soup cans often and generously in care of this exciting web app.
Next episode.
Manny, Zombie, Infidel, Joe, and Jack, Satin.
Or
Where did his fan mail go? Knights in White, Shallow.
Copyrights 2024.
With thanks and mad respect to the Dickies. Dawn of the Dickies A&M Records, 1979. For the episode title anagram mashups,